money tonight and what's happening with new and used cars. Many new cars being sold before they even reach the lot, and used car prices soaring up to 45%.
Every car on a dealer's lot is bleeding money. That's not a metaphor. Dealers finance their inventory on something called a floor plan, a revolving credit line that charges interest on every vehicle every single day. Right now, the average dealer pays around $35 to $45 per car per day just to have it sitting there. That's before insurance, before lot maintenance, before the car loses value simply by aging on the asphalt. So when a trade-in rolls in, the dealer has about 30 seconds to make a decision. Does this car go to the front line for retail sale, or does it go straight to auction, often for thousands less than it's worth? The cars that get sent to auction first are not always bad cars. Some are great transportation. But dealers know something most people don't. Certain cars cost more to keep than to lose. And that math decides whether you get a fair trade-in offer or get lowballed by $3,000 before you finish your coffee. If you understand which cars dealers avoid and why, you can do two things. One, if you're selling, you'll know when to skip the dealer entirely and sell private. Two, if you're buying, you'll know where the overlooked deals are hiding. Here are the cars that get pushed off the lot first and how to use that knowledge. And a Nissan sedan with a CVT over 80,000 miles. This is the first car dealers mentally discard when it rolls in on a trade. Not because the body is bad, not because the interior is shot, because the transmission is a ticking clock. Nissan's Jatco CVT, used in nearly every Altima, Sentra, Versa and Rogue from roughly 2012 to 2018, has a documented pattern of failure between 80,000 and 120,000 miles. Shuddering on acceleration, hesitation, merging onto highways, complete loss of power in traffic. Replacement runs $3,500 to $4,500 at a shop. That's often more than the car's wholesale value. Dealers know this. A 2015 Altima with 95,000 miles walks in the door, and the used car manager sees a car that might need a $4,000 repair before it can safely sit on the front line. He offers you $2,500 and sends it straight to auction if you take it. If you're selling one of these, go private. A buyer who plans to keep it short term or knows how to manage the CVT. Regular fluid changes every 30,000 miles are the key to survival. Will pay $4,000 to $6,000 for a clean Altima. That's double what the dealer offered. If you're buying one, only buy with a manual transmission on any model that offers it. The stick shift eliminates the one fatal flaw in an otherwise cheap, fuel-efficient car. European luxury sedans past 100,000 miles. A 2016 BMW 5 Series looks incredible in photos. Leather, navigation, adaptive headlights, 300 horsepower, listed for $55,000 new. You can find one today for $12,000 to $16,000. And the dealer who took it on trade still doesn't want it. Here's why. The average annual repair cost on a BMW 5 Series is over $1,000, nearly double a Toyota Camry. Air suspension failures run $2,000 to $3,000. Oil leaks from the valve cover or oil filter housing gasket are almost guaranteed past 80,000 miles. The dealer service department could fix these, but reconditioning the car to frontline standards might cost $2,500 to $4,000. That eats the entire profit margin. This applies to the Mercedes E-Class, Audi A6, Jaguar XF, and basically every European sedan over 5 years old. The depreciation is brutal. The Maserati Ghibli loses nearly 65% of its value in 5 years. BMW 7 Series, over 67%. These cars hemorrhage value because the used market prices and the fear of ownership costs. Dealers wholesale them because the liability of a customer returning with a $3,000 repair bill outweighs the margin on the sale. The opportunity here is real, but conditional. If you have a trusted independent European mechanic, not a dealership, an independent who specializes, you can buy a $55,000 car for $13,000 and maintain it for far less than the dealership quotes suggest. But if you don't have that mechanic lined up before you buy, don't buy. The car isn't the trap. The repair infrastructure is. Used EVs, especially without the tax credit. This one shifted fast. In late 2025, the $7,500 federal EV tax credit was eliminated. That single policy change sent used EV values sliding almost overnight. Dealers who'd stocked Teslas and Leafs watched their inventory lose value in real time. The numbers are stark. EVs as a category now lose 58.8% of their value over 5 years, worst of any powertrain. A Jaguar I-Pace that cost $72,000 new is worth about $20,000 5 years later. The Tesla Model S loses over 53%. The Nissan Leaf drops 64%. Dealers are cautious with used EVs for two reasons. First, they can't easily assess battery health the way they can run a compression test on a gas engine. Second, the resale audience is smaller. Not every buyer has home charging, and range anxiety still kills deals. But here's the flip side. Used EVs actually sell faster than gas cars, on average, 34 days versus 43 days for gas vehicles. The buyers who want them badly. They just negotiate hard because depreciation gives them leverage. If you're selling an EV, your best window was late 2025. Expect to lose 5 to 10% more now than 6 months ago. If you're buying, this is the best time in years. A 3-year-old Tesla Model 3 that listed for $48,000 new can be found for $22,000 to $26,000. That's a functioning, fast, low-maintenance car for Camry money if you can charge it at home. Anything with a branded title. This is the category dealers refuse to touch entirely, and for good reason. A branded title means the car was declared a total loss by an insurance company, flood, collision, theft recovery, and was rebuilt. Some states call it a salvage title. Others call it rebuilt. Either way, the car carries a permanent scar on its history. Franchise dealers almost never retail branded title vehicles. Their lenders won't floor plan them. Their insurance won't cover the liability the same way, and most banks won't finance them for retail customers, which eliminates a huge chunk of buyers. This creates a strange economy. Branded title cars sell for 20 to 40% less than clean title equivalents. A 2019 Toyota RAV4 with a clean title might bring $22,000. The same car with a rebuilt title sells for $13,000 to $15,000. If the damage was cosmetic, a hailstorm, a fender bender that triggered the total loss threshold, the car might be mechanically perfect and drive for another decade. The risk is real, though. Flood damage is the killer. Water destroys wiring harnesses, corrodes connectors, and breeds electrical gremlins that surface months later. If you're considering a branded title car, only buy collision rebuilds, never flood. Get a pre-purchase inspection from an independent mechanic. Check for mismatched paint, uneven panel gaps, and fresh undercoating that might be hiding rust or mud residue, and accept that you'll take another hit on resale when it's your turn to sell. Sedans in general, especially rental returns. Here's a quieter trend that works against you if you're selling and works for you if you're buying. Sedans are falling out of favor across the entire market. Dealers want SUVs and trucks because that's where the margin is. The Toyota Sienna sells in 20 days. The Highlander, about the same. A Chevrolet Malibu? The Malibu just got discontinued and remaining units sit for months. Nissan's new Murano is an SUV and it still has 20,000 unsold units and a 234-day supply. If even SUVs can struggle, sedans have no chance when inventory tightens. The problem compounds with rental fleet returns. Enterprise, Hertz, and National buy millions of Altimas, Malibus, Corollas, and Elantras. When those cars come off rental duty at 30,000 to 50,000 miles, they flood to the wholesale market. Dealers see a 2023 Malibu with 40,000 miles and rental history and offer bottom dollar because they know 50 more just like it hit auction last Tuesday. For sellers, this means your mid-size sedan is worth less than you think. Check Kelley Blue Book private party value, not trade-in value. And if the spread is more than $2,000, sell it yourself. You'll almost always net more, even after the hassle. For buyers, this is where the value is hiding. A 2-year-old rental return Corolla or Elantra with 35,000 miles sells for 30 to 35% less than new. These cars were maintained on schedule because the rental company has a fleet contract. The interior might be a little worn, but the drivetrain doesn't care who was sitting in the driver's seat. High mileage trucks and SUVs that need tires and brakes. This one surprises people. Trucks and SUVs hold value better than anything else on the market. Ford F-150S and Toyota Tacomas sell in days. But there's a specific subset that dealers push aside, the ones that arrive needing expensive wear items. A 2017 F-150 with 120,000 miles can still bring $22,000 to $26,000 retail. But if it rolls in needing 4 tires at $250 each, a brake job at $600, and new shocks at $800, the dealer just priced $2,400 in reconditioning before it touches the front line. On a vehicle with tighter margin than you'd expect at that mileage, the math stops working. These trucks and SUVs get auctioned or lowballed on trade specifically because of reconditioning cost, not mechanical failure. The engine and transmission are fine, the frame is solid, it just needs rubber and pads. If you're selling a truck or SUV and it needs tires and brakes, do the work before you trade it in. A $1,200 investment in tires and brakes can swing your trade-in offer by $2,000 to $3,000 because the dealer no longer sees a reconditioning bill. He sees a frontline ready unit. If you're buying and you don't mind doing basic maintenance yourself, look for the trucks that just missed the front line. They're sitting at independent lots and online auctions, priced $2,000 to $4,000 below retail, because nobody wanted to spend the reconditioning money. You do the brakes in your driveway for $300 in parts, and you've got a truck that should have cost 5 figures more. The entire used car market right now is shaped by one force: cost. New car prices are hovering near $50,000. Interest rates just started dropping, but are still above 6%. Tariffs on imported vehicles and parts are adding pressure. And used car inventory under $15,000 is thinner than it's been in years. Dealers have just 38 days supply at that price point compared to 52 days for the overall market. Every one of those pressures makes it harder for regular people to get into reliable transportation, but the cars dealers push aside aren't necessarily the ones you should avoid. They're the ones the dealer's spreadsheet couldn't justify. A Nissan with a manual transmission, a BMW maintained by someone who knew what they were doing, a rental return Corolla with boring history and a clean bill of health, a truck that just needs tires. The dealer's job is to move inventory fast and protect margin. Your job is different. Your job is to find the car that makes financial sense for your life, not theirs. Know what you're looking at. Know why it's priced the way it is. And if the dealer won't give you a fair number for your trade, take it home and sell it yourself. In this market, the person with the most information gets the best deal. Make sure that's you. Drop a comment with what you're driving right now and whether the dealer would keep it or dump it. Subscribe if this helped. Now go make a smarter move than the dealership expected.